GTR listeners, the official Gamertag Radio store is now open on TeePublic. Go to store.gamertagradio.com. That's store.gamertagradio.com. Represent us. You could buy t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, posters, stickers, and much, much more. We are planning to add more designs coming very soon to the store, but as of right now, we have a couple of designs available now, like I Love Gaming and the GTR, Gamertag Radio logo, and so on. It's pretty cool. So go right now to store.gamertagradio.com. That's store.gamertagradio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio with your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 766. This is your host, Danny, and I'm live in Montreal, Canada. This is actually my first time in Canada, first time ever, but we're here for a special private event that we got invited to sit down and have a great roundtable discussion with the developers of For Honor. We had a roundtable discussion about the game a year later. We talked about the past, present, and a little bit about the future. And you're only going to find this roundtable discussion only here on Gamer Tag Radio. So we went to Ubisoft Montreal, and they gave us a nice little tour. We got to see the developers, the whole team working on the game while we were there. And it was really cool. Awesome. Great experience, being there for the first time. And it was actually cool sitting down with the developers because, sometimes, we only get to see the stuff that's been going on from the outside. But talking to them, I learned more about the game. Like, there's a lot of things I didn't know. Can you believe there's still people playing this game? Over 1 million plus players, unique players each month. Average time, 2 hours daily of playtime. They already released 6 seasons in total since the launch of the game. And they already added multiple heroes throughout the different seasons and stuff. So free updates. They've been adding, maps, game modes, tournament, rank mode and stuff. And that's the thing that I really like, that you could buy this game, right? And developers like Ubisoft, they're always adding new content throughout the year, throughout multiple seasons. And I think that's awesome. So I wanted to learn more about why they have done that move now instead of just working on the next game. Because typically back in the days, companies usually do that. They release a game, they have the season pass, you get a couple DLC content, downloadable content, and they move on to the next game. But this one, they've been adding new content every single time. Right now I went, actually before I came to Montreal, I started playing the game again, and there was a lot of stuff that I missed. So I had a great conversation about that. Like, hey, what about those new gamers that just bought the game now? They missed out all the seasonal content from back in the days. Are you guys planning to bring that back and so on? It was a cool conversation. I hope you like it. We're going to play that here during the show. So I came here also with Wayne. He has his own video production company, and I wanted him to record the interview for video. And we're going to start doing more videos, not only for Twitch, but for other places too, that we're gonna upload the content. So make sure to tune in and check out also our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Gamertag Radio, if you're interested to watch the video version of the interview. All right, so I'm going to play this audio that I recorded with Wayne while we were inside Ubisoft Montreal. We'll be right back after this.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, welcome to another edition of Gamer Tag Radio. By the way, we're live in Canada. Actually, Montreal, Canada.
Yep.
This is my first time over here, and we're inside of Ubisoft Montreal office, the building here, and it was pretty cool walking around, seeing different developer working on projects and stuff like that. So it's really cool. So shout out to Ubisoft. Thank you for flying me over here, and also Wayne. Wayne is our how you want to say, our new video guy, right?
Yeah, I'm like the video guy.
The video guy. He, we just started, working on a couple of things, and yeah, this is one of the first projects, and later it's going to be E3 and everything. So Wayne,
yep,
this is your first time on the podcast. How was it, man, coming over here in Montreal?
Awesome. I mean, to say eye-opening is to say the least, because it's like when you arrive in Canada, it's eye-opening, but when you get in the Ubisoft building, it's like your mouth opens, your eyes open, everything opens, your ears, you're listening to everybody because you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but it was cool getting to talk to the developers over here. We sat down with them and we talked a lot about For Honor. For those who don't know, For Honor came out last year for the PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. But the thing that Ubisoft been doing now for the past couple years now, not only with For Honor but also Rainbow Six and other games, is they've been adding a lot of content since the release of the game, and also besides the bugs, they've been fixing that. And one of the big changes too for Honor, they added dedicated servers a couple months ago too.
Yeah, that's huge.
Which is a game changer for the game. It helped out big time. But later in the podcast, I'm definitely going to be playing an interview with the developers of the game. We talked a lot about a lot of things, a lot of great conversation. You were there. How I mean, don't no spoilers.
Away.
No spoilers, but your reaction scene, because this is your first time actually seeing me, doing interviews.
Yeah.
But you never done this before,
exactly.
Like an interview and stuff. So
it was really
thoughts,
cool,
man.
It was super chill. They were all really nice, and it was just cool to learn about what what goes into making the game. You ask those questions, and when they tell you everything they do to get what they got, it's like, wow, I didn't know they put that much effort, or they go through all those routes.
And I think it's important to know, and it's good that you're seeing that, because a lot of from the gamers from the outside, they only see, they're trying to get our money and leave. That's it, But it feels like not only Ubisoft, but a lot of other companies are communicating a lot with the fans, with the community.
Yeah.
Because look, I even mentioned this at the end of the interview. I mentioned to them that it's good that companies are doing that, because one, the gamers will learn a lot about the developing process, the business process, like how that works. And also at the same time, the developers, producers, etc., they will also learn from the gaming side, things that they like, things that work, because you, as a consumer, you're buying the product. If you want to get more money from the fans, you have to do certain things that will make sense and also will make them feel like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And it will bring them back to play the game and stay in the game for long term.
Exactly. And the fact that you as the player feel like you're being heard when you say like, oh, this is an issue, or this would be cool, and they actually take the time to make that happen. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's really cool to see that, man. The past few years, I've been seeing that a lot from a lot of different gaming companies and stuff. So change is good. I think it's good because I know when I started, a lot of the gaming companies will just browse forums.
Yeah.
They will have like different people on their team to just check out the forums, take notes.
Yep.
But don't post anything. Don't talk to them. Just take notes, see what people are saying, their requests and the feedback. But now they're having...
Now they got their own Reddit.
They have their own weekly streams.
Yep.
They have a private Discord channel for like the top players and invite them, and they send like the feedback and stuff. I think that's actually pretty cool, man.
That's huge.
Yeah, communication I think is the key for both sides.
Yeah, and transparency, they said too. They like to tell them whenever they're working on something, because then it's, as the gamer, you're like, oh, I can't wait for that to happen, and things are moving, and they're working on stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. So, and let us know what your thoughts about the content, the interview and everything. We're getting ready for E3, so that's something pretty excited. I'm very excited.
It's gonna be my first time.
Oh man, poor Wayne. I hope you're ready, man. Gotta be comfortable and everything, So, also head over to store.gamertagradio.com. That's store.gamertagradio.com. We have a lot of cool products you could go and buy. If you're into t-shirts, you can buy t-shirts, hoodies, posters. There's even stickers. I've seen listeners of ours been buying a couple of stickers. It could be Let Me Dream or just the regular Gamer Tag Radio logo. Yep. They put it on their tablet, their laptop, maybe their notebook. I mean, it's cool to get that support from the fans. So yeah, go right now to store.gamertagradio.com. That's store.gamertagradio.com and support GTR, man. It will help us out. And if you have any ideas of like designs that you would like to see in the future, please let us know. Send us an email at fanmail@gamertagradio.com. And we'll work on that and post it on our store and stuff in the future, man. So yeah, Wayne, you're getting ready for E3, man. Wayne,
yep.
This is going to be his first time going to E3. Are you nervous?
I'm nervous but excited. It's like that first day of school. I just want it to happen already. I'm ready.
So what is it that you're so excited about E3? Kind of you've been seeing videos.
Yeah,
and
I mean, before, basically my only experience with E3 is watching the crowd's like reaction to any big reveal, and I think I'm excited for that, to be in that moment where it's like, oh, yeah. But also I'm excited to be able to like look. I can picture myself turning to the right and seeing an awesome game or an awesome system, and turning to the left and seeing another one, and not knowing where to look because it's all so cool.
Yeah. Any of the companies that you're excited to check out?
Super excited for Nintendo and Pokemon. I'm a huge Pokemon
You're a huge Pokemon fan, huh?
Yeah, huge.
The conversation we were having last night, I was like, yo, imagine they do like a battle royale.
Yeah, that would be funny.
But
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to happen. Yeah. But I mentioned to you, man, they should do a battle royale of Mario Kart.
Yeah, that would actually be cool. Because
that would be crazy. Imagine like a huge area where carts.
Yeah, they have that battle mode, but if they put it battle royale and it's just a bigger map, then it's cool.
And only one survive.
But no red shells, please. No red shells.
Red shells will be sick though.
It'd be broken
because I'll be running around with like bananas so I won't get hit, Or remember too, if they send like a red shell, you could also trick the red shell that it will go to like a wall or maybe a tree or whatever.
Or if you hold the shell behind you, you can block it like that.
Yeah, that's why it's a banana.
Yeah.
That's a banana. Cool, man. So your experience coming over here to Montreal with me, I know we flew together and stuff. I know I mentioned to you, hey, we would like for you to help us out, maybe with videos. I think this will be a cool first project to see how we work and how it looks and stuff. So far, your thoughts on video-wise, like how the interview came out and stuff.
The interview came out great. I love that they provided like this nice backdrop for us. It's like I didn't even really have to make the set look pretty, which I usually have to. They kind of just showed up and it was awesome.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna play the interview right now, and once we come back, outro, right?
Sure.
Outro. All right, cool. Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
Hello, everyone. We're back here at Gamertag Radio. We have a sponsor for this week. I have something very special for you guys to share with you, and I'm really loving this new show from our family, Audio Boom, called Covert. This show takes listeners inside the most dangerous military operation of all time. Audio Boom was kind enough to share a clip for Gamertag Radio listeners, and I think you will love it. Check out this clip of Covert's first episode, The Killing of Osama bin Laden, and a look for new episodes every Tuesday.
September 11th, 2001, 6 a.m., Portland, Maine. 5 men, secretly armed with knives, prepare to board a plane to Los Angeles via Boston. Their flight attendant that day, Betty Ann Ong, is especially excited about the trip. After she lands in L.A., she'll be meeting with her sister to plan a Hawaiian vacation. 8:13 a.m. An air traffic controller at the FAA's Boston Center directs the flight to turn 20 degrees right. The pilot acknowledges the order. But as the controller sends more instructions, there is nothing but radio silence. 8:19 a.m. Air traffic control receives a call. It's flight attendant Betty Ann Ong. She, too, cannot contact the cockpit, and she is now hiding in the back of the plane.
Cockpit's not answering. Somebody's stabbed in business class. And I think there's mates that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked. Which flight are you on? Flight 12. And what seat are you at? Ma'am, are you there?
Carrying dozens of men, women, and children, Betty's flight has been hijacked by terrorists who have diverted the plane towards New York City. Meanwhile, CIA analyst Mike Scheuer is at home, watching the tragedy unfold on television. He immediately knows who is responsible, the person he was in charge of finding not long ago, a little-known Saudi terrorist named Osama bin Laden.
When those planes hit on 9/11, we had known they were going to do that, not that specific day or that specific target, but that medium of operation, they intended to do that since at least 1995.
And it wouldn't be until 2011 that the hunt for the world's most wanted man was finally brought to an end. This is The Killing of Osama bin Laden, Part 1. From Audio Boom and World Media Rights, this is Covert, a podcast about the shadowy world of international espionage and top-secret military operations. I'm Jamie Rennell, and I'm going to take you on a deep dive into history's greatest classified missions to learn about the brave soldiers, government agents, and law enforcement personnel who risked their lives to terminate the world's most wanted, eliminate terrorist threats, and protect the lives of countless innocent people. In this first episode, we'll trace the origins of Osama bin Laden and the people who were tasked to find him. Who was this man? When did he first get the CIA's attention? And what led up to his masterminding of 9/11? We'll start with the first attack on the Twin Towers, 8 years earlier. February 26, 1993. A yellow van pulls into the subterranean parking garage beneath the Vista Hotel in Lower Manhattan. Several men jump out and unravel 4 20-foot-long pieces of fuse wire. They ignite the fuses, pile into the car that was following them, and speed off. At 12:17 p.m., the truck explodes, carving a 100-foot crater through 4 levels of the World Trade Center tower above.
Also, that was a very small taste of the episode. Let us know what your thoughts about it. Make sure to go right now to the Audio Boom and search for Covert. You can also find Covert now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast destination. And now, so we're going to go play our interview with the developers of For Honor here, exclusively only here on Gamertag Radio.
This is a Gamertag Radio exclusive.
Hey, hi. So my name is Roman Camposerra, and I'm creative director on For Honor.
All right, and you?
And I'm Damien Kiken, the game director on For Honor.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting us over here. And I know you guys had a presentation about For Honor a year later. There's been a lot of challenges for you guys. But it seems like walking over here, it seems like your team has been focusing a lot on multiplayer side and fixing the bugs and everything. So why was it so important to work on those even after the game releases? Because usually companies will stop and continue working on the next project. But it seems like you guys are really focused on working on this game still.
So first, thank you for coming.
All right. Yeah.
And the plan with For Honor since the beginning, that's part of the DNA of the project. It's to be a game as service. It's to be a platform, and it's to be something that is here for the long term. And that was the goal at first. And we released. We had 3 successful releases, crazy open beta, really good first months, more than 7.5 million players after a year. So the game has been working well, but yes, we had some issues. But the goal was to fix those and continue and move forward and not just go, okay, we made 7 million players, okay, let's wait for the next one. No, that was not the plan with the game, and that was not also the promise and the commitment we made to the community. We want to keep pushing the quality of the game, improving it, continuing to add new content. We had 6 new players during the first year. Currently, we are revamping the first heroes that the game shipped with, and more stuff to come.
Yeah, Another thing too is I noticed that you guys been focusing a lot about fixing the issues, and I know you guys added a dedicated service and stuff. But do you see this also in the future, maybe adding it as like an esports type thing for this game? Because I can see the potential, in my opinion. So because like you said, the fans are very, very hardcore with this game, and they're very competitive. But why not go to that route too, like esports?
Thank you to see that.
Yeah.
It's something we share. So since the beginning, For Honor has always been thought as a competitive game, competitive first. I don't think as designers or as developer, you decide if your game is esport or not, but at least what you can design and what you can make is how competitive it is. And so this has always been our focus, to make a competitive game. And that's why we focus so much, as Roman said, on balancing, on revamping some of the old heroes. We also changed some core aspect of the fight mechanics. And we think we have to do all of that first before going bigger on that area. But in the meantime, of course, the community is already doing a lot of tournaments. We are watching tournaments every weekend. We have tournaments organized by the community every weekend. So it will grow at its own pace. But what we can say is that in our case, we're focused on delivering features, on improving the game so that it's the most competitive as it can be.
Why was it so important for you guys to now start communicating a lot with like the fans? Because usually back when I started, podcasting like 13 years ago, so a lot of the developers wouldn't even bother talking to the community. They will probably browse the forums to see what they're saying. But it seems like the communication has been getting a lot better now with the developers and the community. Why was it so important to make that change now for you guys?
For me, the main difference, it's been with that concept of where the project is here for the long term. When we ship For Honor, we continue to work on For Honor. And because we continue to work on For Honor, we need to stay up to date with the status, with the current status of the game, not only from our perspective of developer playing our own game and playing builds in the future, but also with the perspective of the player and try to improve the game for them. And the only way to be able to stay connected and know what to fix, what to improve, what people want, is to actually have that discussion. And in order to have that discussion to work, you need to give visibility to the player. You need to tell them, hey, yes, okay, we heard you on that. Yes, that is an issue. We're working on that. We want to fix that. Hey, we want to add that new mode, or we want to add that new type of feature. What do you think? You need to have that discussion in order to move forward, do what's best for the...
I know there's now 6 seasons now. So there's a couple that I missed, and there's probably a lot of new gamers that probably will decide to buy the game later, and they want to try out those seasons that came out in the past, like the seasonal content. Are we going to see that back again in the future, or are you guys going to focus on just adding straight up new content?
So of course, if you come now to For Honor, you will benefit from all the improvements we've made, all the new content we've added, the permanent content. Mm-hmm. Then on the seasonal side, we want it to be time limited and an event in itself. We want people to come only for that in the game. So it doesn't mean we won't reintroduce some of those or some content of those. It's still something we're discussing internally, because it's a request we get more and more. The more season we make, the more events we make, the more the community is asking us, hey, I'd like to see back those weapons. I'd like to be able to loot back those weapons, etc. Mm-hmm. So I think something we'll do in the future. We don't know the formula yet. But really the intention for us is to say, okay, if you want to be part of the Writ of Champion event, for example, that is playing right now in the game, well, you should come now and enjoy it now, enjoy Carousel of Death, enjoy this exclusive content. And this is to reward the players that are here at that moment.
I know back then the business model was release the game, have a couple DLC content, let's go to the next game. Why the way how Ubisoft been doing it now for like the past few years is adding a lot of content on the same game over and over again. Why the change? For someone from the outside, don't know much about that, but what from the inside, tell us a little bit about that.
It really goes with the game as a service model. So as soon as you decide to be a game as a service model, it means that you will have a big team behind the game every month after it ships. So you need to find a business model where the company is making enough money to sustain the team, to be able so that the team can still work on the game and improve it, add content, etc. So it's a new business model to find. So it's not only based on releasing DLC, etc., but it's also based on releasing cosmetic content and things like that. And in For Honor, we had really strong pillars since the beginning. We wanted all content to be accessible to everybody. So we knew we would have some players who want to support us, who want to invest more into the game, and that's great. It helped us work on it. And we knew we would have some players that would maybe have more time to spend on the game, but don't want to invest more into the game. And we don't want one player to have more content than the other, etc. So that's why all matchmake content, so new maps, new mod, all of that, it's always given for free. It's a good way to retain players. It's a good way to tell them continue working on the game. And then other part of content is either unlockable through play or unlockable against money. And we think we found the right balance so that everybody can enjoy the game, everybody can enjoy all the content, and at the same time it's sustainable for us so that we can keep working on the game, and that's what we want in the end.
And why doing that instead of saying, yeah, okay, so we ship For Honor, now let's do For Honor 2, etc. It's because now as developers, at least, I want to grow my game with its population and continue to make it evolve, and not necessarily every time restart from a blank page and go, I want to continue to push my idea and see how far we can go with it, how much we can take out of it in terms of gameplay, and continue to build that on the same population of players. And don't split regularly that population, because I don't see any real interest today to split the population. And what has changed is now we have a pool of players for live games that is big enough for us to sustain that model. Whereas previously you had to reacquire really often to keep that pool of players. Today we can, because of the quality of the retention that we can keep that pool of players and continue to kind of work with them in a way, in the sense of continuing to push content with them, continue to support the game and play. For me, that has been the shift. It's okay, now we've built something, we can actually continue to improve, build on it, and not do something new and justify something new to add on it, etc. Just
a lot of gaming companies now are doing the whole like cross-play and stuff. Like, I know it's not balanced when it comes to PC versus like consoles, right? But I could see something like maybe getting together with friends and playing against the AI. Is that possible? Do you think we might see something like that in the future, based on feedback from the community? Having friends from PC and consoles together against like the AI.
So it's not something we're planning for the moment because of technical reason. As you said, for example, we have a different frame rate on PC and console, so it wouldn't make the thing compatible. We think crossplay is great because, based on what Roman just said, it's making the community even bigger. So in the end, very valuable direction, but it's not something easy to do, and even less in the For Honor situation where we have a simulation. We have a tech that is very exotic, I would say, to make a 4v4 fight possible. So,
but in For Honor, we have the faction war, and the faction war is actually crossplay. So all your match contribute to your faction, whether you're on PS4, Xbox, and PC. So we have that foundation. Now, moving in the future, and here I'm speaking about long term, is it something that we're interested in for the brand and for the long term? Yes, definitely. But today, in terms of technology, on For Honor, we're not there yet.
Now, for those that are afraid to go to the multiplayer side and play, against other players, they're more of like, I just want to play on my own and stuff. Do you have also content for that type of crowd too?
So the last month, in April, we released a whole new onboarding to the game So complete revamp of all the tutorial experience with a trial mechanic where we teach you all the skill against AI, etc. We released a new system with an arena where you can test all your character in any situation against any type of behavior, etc. Again, in a safe environment. So we are pushing the onboarding experience when you don't want to necessarily go directly in PvP. It's the same thing. We've made some events like for the anniversary of the first year of For Honor, the Test Your Metal events, where you had a player versus AI game mode, where you had a full team of player against a revamped version of the boss of the campaign, etc. So we still want, and we have new stuff that we will announce later, but it's something that we want to continue to push the player versus AI aspect in the game, and we want to continue to support that, but still inside the multiplayer environment. For Honor is a multiplayer game first, and this short term, we are not going to push the game again in a more single player or narrative direction. We want to keep the multiplayer aspect. Whether it's against player or against AI, still it's in the multiplayer environment.
Go for it.
Yeah, just to complete, all modes are available against bots, and that's something that since the beginning we always wanted. You can play it in matchmaking or only with friends, and share progression. So whatever you do against bots is going towards your progression in PvP. And now each time we introduce an event that is PvP, we also make it available against bots. So it's also something we know we have a part of the population that likes playing against bots, and it's something we support.
I know the past year you guys have been adding now like 5,000 plus new content in the game and stuff. Was there any content that you guys thought, man, this is going to work out, and people start playing it? Maybe it wasn't all that based on the feedback, but also based on the feedback, would that also help you guys to come up with new ideas on the type of content that you guys can release in the future?
Usually it's more the reverse. We were like very impressed by the level of reception of stuff we haven't seen. So for example, there are something that became now rules and that weren't rules before. So we're releasing new executions, and we had some execution that ledges. So execution that when you kill your opponent, he goes in the void and he doesn't go against a transparent wall. But not all executions were supporting that, and now it's it's an ingredient. The players are asking for that. It's like, oh, your execution doesn't ledge, it sucks, it needs to ledge, and then the team is updating it, etc. So this is the type of feedback we get: is how something that wasn't a parameter for us became something really core to a value of an execution, for example, to the players. Same thing for emotes that are spammable. The emotes that are spammable have way more value to the player than other emotes. And this is one of the things they look at. So yes, this is definitively part of things we're learning by releasing those new content.
That's cool. That's cool because, the other day I started playing it again for Honor because it's been a while and stuff. But there were some modes that will say high activity, a lot of people playing. But there's some that's low activity. Based on that too, those stats, that also will help you to come up with new type of ideas to bring the gamers back.
That was one thing that I was going to bounce on. Yes, usually the weekly content and the customization content has always been really successful in the game and really in demand by the player. The elements where we thought would work better, it's when we release Tribute. So the 4v4 game mode that we released October, end of last year. And because in terms of feedback of the player, the feedback has been really good. Like, people love the game, etc. The issue with Tribute is that it's particularly good when you're playing with friends in a pre-made team against a pre-made team, because it requires a high level of team coordination and tactic. And so in matchmaking, it's less popular because it's not necessarily a game mode that you want to play with. So, and that was something that we knew could happen with the game mode, but not necessarily at that level. The other game modes that are less popular are the deathmatch type of game mode, where it's skirmish or elimination. And same thing, we knew that at the foundation, For Honor is more either a duel or a team objective based game. And so yes, team deathmatch type of modes are a little bit less popular. Still, there are a lot of players out there that just like the sheer chaos of skirmish. Mm-hmm. So are we making it better? Yes, we release an update where now we change the respawn rules, for example, on skirmish, etc. But do we want necessarily all of our game mode to have the same level of attention, the same amount of player, etc.? No, I think it's okay to have game mode that are more popular, game mode that are less popular, as long as you can play in each of those. And when you start to have issues to play in a specific game mode because nobody's playing it, etc., that's where we want to act. And so, for example, today we are looking at the way we're doing ranking and tournaments in order to solve this type of issue of queue time.
I know you guys have been adding a lot of characters too in the game the past year. Balancing how that works based on the new characters, you think it was like a little bit too much for like too strong compete online with other players? How you guys worked on that too, because it could get really challenging too for you guys, right?
So now we have a roster of 18 characters. That means that every time we have a character, it's more complex and more complex every time we add a new character, because it needs to be balanced in a way with everybody else in the roster. But it's basically the balancing pipeline. There is two different balancing that we're looking at. There's the actual balancing in terms of data, and that's more the end-game balancing with the top 5% player, and that's based on win-loss ratio and move usage, etc. And so that's how we create our tier list. And so when we are balancing that, for example, that's why we are doing reworks of old character or nerf of too powerful character. It's really based on the data of those top 5%. And we have workshop with those guys. We have private Discord, private test version in order to iterate with our top 5% in terms of balancing. But there's also part of balancing that is based more on perception, play style, that is actually affecting most of the population. And that's what happened when you have the flavor of the month, or that character is definitely OP, and discussion, no, you just dodge, it's easy, etc. This kind of thing. The issue here, it's more than balancing, it's perception, and it's actually frustration. And that is linked to the play style of the character. So that's where we actually change some moves of characters, add new moves, new chains, or nerf move, etc. It's to address the frustration of fighting against or as that character, and not necessarily the overall win-loss ratio of that specific guy.
I think one of the biggest moves you guys made was changing it to dedicated servers. I think that helped a lot. Why they change? Why the? Because I think that was like a major big step.
Yeah. It's a full story on its own, to be honest.
Yeah.
Why? Because we weren't reaching the stability levels we wanted to reach, and this was especially true in 4v4 matches. So duel was fine, brawl were fine, but 4v4 matches we had stability issues. And one of the things we discovered post-launch is that with our meshed peer-to-peer model, if we had one player on the session that had a bad connectivity, it would impact negatively the session for everybody else, making resyncs and things like that. And sometimes crashes of the session, disconnection. So we improved a lot the peer-to-peer model during months and months. And in parallel, the team, seeing the rate of improvement and how we were moving the stability up, the team decided to change the architecture at the same time. So we knew it would be a huge work, many months, 8 months of work to change the architecture. It's not something you do usually. You have to stick with your engine. You have to stick with your architecture. It's not something you change, and even more when you're live. But we knew by doing an investigation, a study and all, that in the end it would be better for the game. And because the game is for the long term, as Roman was saying it, because we're a game as a platform, because we wanted to support it for years, it made sense to invest money, to invest a lot of time into that change, into that move to the dedicated server. So it's something we released a few months ago. The results are great. We have no session migration, no resyncs anymore. We removed 75% of connectivity issues we had on peer-to-peer. and a lot of other benefits. So in the end, it was really a good move. It took us a lot of time, but in the end, we're very happy. And it's still something the team is working on and improving on right now.
Well, I know we're going to have another interview later, but from the next one. But you want to give a hint for those? I know you guys have been working on some E3 stuff, right? Some E3 announcements. And I seen it on the stream too. Want to give a hint to anybody, or they have to wait to the next episode?
I think we can give a quick hint. There is something that has been requested of player for a long time on forum that we might show it.
Oh man, there you go. All right, cool. I think I like that you guys been really interacting with the fans and stuff. You know, a lot of companies, they'll stay away and they just work on the product and that's it. But I think based on the feedback, I think it will help you guys also learn from the gamer point of view, and for them, they'll know more about like the business point of view and development point of view too. So I think it works out for both of you guys, man. So I just want to say thanks for the interview, and can't wait.
Thank you for coming.
Can't wait for E3, man. Can't wait for the big announcement. So man, cool.
Definitely.
All right, thanks, man.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, Gamertag Radio listeners, that's it. We finished a brand new episode of GTR. Let us know your thoughts. I think that was a great conversation with them. We talked about a lot of things, and I hope we could do more of that in the future with other developers. I would love to learn more about them working on different games and then different business decisions. We talk about the good, the bad, things that they learn, and I think that's awesome. Not only for them, but also for us, as gamers. I think it's great to know how it is behind the scenes, So I had a great time. And we have more surprises coming during E3. Great interviews we have planned. A lot of cool stuff. I can't say much, but just be prepared. All right, head over to gamertagradio.com. Make sure to post your comments and feedback. Share the content with your friends and family members. You could also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories. Stay tuned for the next episode of Gamertag Radio here only on Audio Boom. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Thank you for listening to Gamertag Radio. If you'd like to donate and help us out for future events and more coverage and also better audio equipment, head over to donate.gamertagradio.com. That's donate.gamertagradio.com. Thank you.